I've been talking a lot about strategy, about how to use AI to build your business and really grow a network marketing company. But some of the most important things in building a business are not related to strategy. In fact, people often throw around mindset and how that fits in with business and how important it is, but they don't really give you a good feel about what exactly mindset is. And so I'm going to touch on that just a little bit today. I'm going to go totally unscripted, which is different from me, but that's okay. This is raw Scott. So anyway, when I think about mindset, it's a lot of different things pop into mind. Positive mental attitude, having confidence, having that courage to move forward, believing in yourself. But it goes a lot further than that. And essentially, when you're thinking about mindset, what it really takes to be successful in business is to be able to know in your heart of hearts, in your subconscious mind, deep down, that you are on the right path, that you are taking steps forward every day in your business, that yes, there will be challenges, but you are going to end up on the top of your game no matter how long it takes, okay? That's kind of a lot to digest, right? And it all begins with being able to see yourself as that successful person. I've heard one of my mentors says all the time that you will never outperform your self-image. And so it kind of all starts right there with building your self-image, building that level of confidence that you are already becoming that person who you want to be, who makes the 5 figures a month, who makes the 6 figures a month. You have to have that mental picture in your head, and you have to then learn to act like that person now. You have to act as if you are already that person earning that 5 figures a month. Sure, there are things to learn along the way, but with each step that you learn, each thing that you master, you know that you are closer and closer and closer and closer. My two of my kids started gardening, and it's, to use a gardening analogy, one of them and his girlfriend are very, very adamant about pulling all the weeds out of their garden. Subconscious mind, same way. My mind is continually filled with weeds, right? And that's something that I deal with. I pull them out, I throw them away. I tell myself that's not real, that's not true. There's so many untruths that we tell ourselves about, who we are now, that we're not capable of doing these things, that other people see all the success because of A, B, or C. When you have as much potential as anybody else, you have as much capability to make 5 or 6 figures a month as anybody else. All it takes is you pulling the weeds from your mind, sitting down and doing the work and learning the process, okay? But if you don't pull those weeds from your mind, they will poison the process for you and no strategy will work. All right, does that make sense? The other thing, when I think about gardening and how that's such a good analogy is, let's say you wanted to grow carrots, for example. You take the seed, you put it in the ground, you water it, come back the next day and nothing happens, water it a little bit again, come back the second day and nothing's happened, come back the third day, nothing's happened, you're like, this isn't gonna work, I'm gonna plant peas instead. You dig up your carrot seeds, you plant peas, repeat the process. That's how so many people get started in their business. They think that because it hasn't happened in a month or 2 months or 3 months, that it's never going to happen and it's not working, okay? Now, certainly you have to water it with the right kind of water. You have to be able to remember what it is you're in this for. You have to be able to remember why you started your business. But, if you're continually digging up your seeds, they're never going to grow. They're never going to grow. And what you have to know is whatever your goal is, whether it's to make $2,000 a month or $5,000 a month or $15,000 a month, there's a gestation period, okay? There's a gestation period for that seed to grow, and it's different with every person. But I will tell you this, the people who start out with the goal of making $10,000 a month and they hit that goal within 6 months is so minuscule, all right? The people who you see who are doing that kind of business, sometimes it takes them years to build. You know, the average top network marketer has been with the same company for over 5 years, right? Remember that, over 5 years. And during that time frame, they have changed themselves. They have grown significantly. They have built the skills. What are those skills that you have to master? Lead generation. You have to master talking to people. You have to master getting people to take a look at your opportunity. And you have to master the closing process, right? Simple steps, but you have to learn to master them in that order, right? If you're not generating any leads to look at your opportunity, then that's a problem. That's the first step to master, right? And you have to look at what that takes. But my point is, you know, if it doesn't happen in the first month for you, then that's okay. What I preach and what I believe in is that this is the best business model there is, because literally you only have to find 2 people and you have to help those people find 2 people. I'm all about leadership. I'm all about helping people. I always have been my whole life. And so when you jump on my team, I immediately am in communication with you. I'm helping you to find those 2 people. And it might not happen in the first week. It might not happen in the first month, but we're going to make sure that you are committed, that you are taking the steps that are going to lead you to that place of finding your 2 people, right? Once you do that, you just help them find their 2 people. You help them learn to help their people find their 2 people. It's a simple thing. But the trouble is, most people don't stick with it long enough to even find their 2 people. And then they get discouraged, they dig up their seed, they plant something else, and they move along. And they start all over, taking the same issues that they had in the last opportunity to their new opportunity. Does that make sense? It's never going to work if you do it that way. That's why we have a proven system. We train you, we teach you, we lead you, and we teach you to become a leader, right? You know, the world pays for leadership. It always has, always will. The world pays for leaders. So you have to learn to enroll those 2 people and become a leader, and that all happens through a process. And again, the gestation period for that process is different for every single person. But here's what I know. If you follow the process, if you stick with it, if you simply learn to find 2 people, spread that message, and help them find their 2 people, you can build a 5 or 6 figure a month business. You know, I hope you found some value out of this session today. And if so, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, if you want to join my team, comment below join. I'll show you exactly how to get started. And it's very possible that I will put you on, under somebody else on my team, because I fully believe in helping others to build their businesses. See you in the next video.